What is going on, crew? Brian DeCosta, shreddedforlife.com, here to get you shredded. Keep you shredded. In today's video, we've got some exciting topics. We're going through a chest workout. You're going to see that in the background. I'm also going to be going through supplement stack giveaway 3 of 3. If you've been tuning in for the last several Mondays, we've been doing supplement stack giveaways courtesy of Core Nutritionals. Got a couple winners in the books. We have one more. We're going to be going through these supplements briefly, and then we're also going to be answering a question regarding the differences between training in women versus men. This is a topic that will probably never die, but it's nonetheless important to hit on, as I believe there's a lot of misconceptions about that. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's video. And the question I'm going to answer is always based on the comment section of the prior video. So when I'm going to make the next video after this one, I'll be coming to this comment section to see what question we should answer, what question may be interesting to most people. And if you think you got one of those, or if you don't even care what other people want to hear and you just want an answer to your own question, then comment it and I may just answer that question for you. First things first, I didn't say this in the last video. If you want to enter to win this, 2 steps, super simple. Instagram post, I'll link it in the description. I'll pin it in the comment. Just comment on that Instagram post. It'll be from me. It'll be showing these beautiful sups. And also follow Core Nutritionals, who is the supplement company I've been working with for the last several years. And they've been crushing the game for about a decade now at this point, probably maybe even longer. So really easy to enter. Now let's go ahead and get into it. This is more of a, let's say, health stack. The most exciting, in my opinion, product here is Core MRP. And I believe this was Core Nutritional's first product when they first started. MRP stands for meal replacement. And for those of you who are super busy, who's not super busy, right? If you have a 9-to-5 job, busy corporate job, start your own business, whatever, time is of the essence, right? This is where Core MRP can come in and really save the day for you. The glamour side of this, let's go ahead and get into the flavors because I think they're next to none. They got a bunch of flavors: s'mores, carrot cake, blueberry crumb cake, double chocolate oatmeal, peanut butter oatmeal cookie. That's my cup of tea, baby. Vanilla pound cake, caramel candy bar, and one that's currently sold out, may return, is pumpkin pie. I think that's actually what I got here. No, I got carrot cake, just kidding. I'm actually eating it right now as a sludge. I've mixed it together. That's a way you can eat Core MRP. But now the cool thing about Core MRP is it's designed specifically to replace a meal that you otherwise would have during the day. And for that reason, what's included in Core MRP is whole food sources. Sounds like an obvious thing that you would do. However, a lot of meal replacement supplements on the market will not stack up in any significant way against an actual meal that you would have otherwise through Core MRP. So specifically, whole oat flour is the main carbohydrate included in Core MRP, as opposed to something like dextrin or some other glucose spiking, insulin spiking carbohydrate that would be included and doesn't have the same nutritional load, doesn't have the same longer window of digestion, keep you full for longer, that whole oat flour would offer to you. So the macros specifically here, just to highlight them for you: 2 scoops in this bad boy, 270 calories, 6 grams of fat, 27 grams of carbohydrates, 27 grams of protein. Excuse me. The fat source is a coconut oil creamer that it doesn't taste like coconut, but you get nice MCT oils in there. And the meal that it's designed to replace is like a cup of egg whites, cup of oats, and the flavors are absolutely amazing. Great if you're going to mix it in a shaker, running out the door, mix it with some water or with some milk, or you can do what I've been doing for a second meal of the day and just kind of turn it into a sludge. It tastes absolutely amazing. So next on deck, not so glamorous, but nonetheless important, we have Core Multi, all properly dosed. As in a lot of multis on the market, just simply won't have the right ratios of ingredients. They won't have enough vitamin D, won't have enough vitamin C. This is great on vitamin B as well, help you with energy throughout the day. A multivitamin, as I say often, you may hear often, it helps cover the bases that your diet otherwise would not cover if you weren't taking a multivitamin. So super essential for someone who's very active, right? A lot of us on this channel are active. Otherwise, I don't really know why you'd be here, my friend. Last on deck, Core Omega. This is a supplement that you don't want to skimp on, and they're not all created equal. If you're just going to spend a couple bucks on one from Costco or at the grocery store, it's not going to be produced with the same level of integrity that Core Omega is produced with, which is under a nitrogen barrier. Essentially, in the manufacturing process, they don't allow oxygen to get into that process, which can create oxidation, which decreases the shelf life and can result in that nasty fishy taste. In addition to this, Omega includes properly dosed EPA and DHA, the omega-3s that we are looking to take in and reap the benefits from taking a fish oil in the first place. A lot of research on omega-3s help cognitive function, improve mood, improve eyesight, regulate to a certain degree hormone levels. So Health Stack, again, not necessarily as glamorous as the last supplement stack giveaway, which is boosting testosterone. You hear the word testosterone as a man and your ears perk up. But guys, this is going to set you up to be in the right climate for gains. It's all important. If I had to pick a favorite here, it would be MRP, but just because the flavor is so great. And these aren't necessarily so glamorous, but nonetheless, they're entering the face every single day. Last thing I actually will say on Core Multi is they're veggie caps, and you can break them open and mix them into a shake in the morning, or just if you don't like taking a ton of pills throughout the day, you don't have to do it. You can mix it in something. So go ahead, hit up the IGs, go ahead, hit a comment on the post, and follow Core Nutritionals. I'll be checking that you follow Core just to be sure that you're following the rules, my friends. Rules that I just completely made up, but I want you guys to win. For that reason, it's wise to follow Core, in my opinion. They're super educational, and their supplements will definitely help you along your fitness journey. Let's get into the question now. So Will commented a thorough question, and I appreciate the time you put into this. And he's being so selfless here. He's not even asking for himself. What's going on, Will, by the way? He's asking about, he says there's misinformation. How about I just read it? I'm not actually asking for myself, but rather because everywhere you go, there seems to be misinformed people, especially on Reddit when people ask for advice. Can you explain how there is no difference between a male working out versus a female? So many ladies seem to think they have to hit their muscles different with workouts, quote, meant for ladies, unquote, than guys when our biceps, abs, quads, all of them literally function the same way. To finish that sentence. I mean, maybe back muscles should get extra attention if a lady hopes to have kids one day so she can make it through pregnancy better without quite as bad of aches. That last point on pregnancy, I think we should give a little credit to our evolutionary biology and assume that women are designed in a way to be able to deal with childbirth in an effective way. I don't think in our genome, in our genetics, is a lack of evolution in such a way that women must all train their back to be able to have children without severe pain. So I would guess that that is not even something that has any scientific basis. And I understand why this topic is something that is consistently recurring, because if one is uninformed on resistance training, weight training, shifting your body composition, becoming a stronger human being, becoming more functional throughout the day, you may just, as a beginner, observe men training versus women training and assume, I would think this way. There's definitely got to be a difference between the way women train and men train, because they are very different. However, the science points to some different conclusions, and ultimately our physiology is so similar that there aren't any significant differences at all. Here's the answer. There are no significant differences in the way that men should train versus women should train. So yes, if a female is following myself or another online trainer, she can follow a quote unquote man's training program, even if excuse me, the marketing of it has a man's ripped physique on it and it's all freaking hard and testosterone and yes, we're jacked, let's touch dicks. Like, women can still follow that training program. And vice versa, a man could follow a woman's training program. Now, because of his ego and being made fun of, perhaps he probably wouldn't do that. But I'd say going either way, it's nonetheless equally as legitimate. A woman hit in a gaining phase, wise to hit a common training program split out, like legs push-pull or push-pull legs. Pull muscles, push muscles, you guys get the gist. The differences between men and women, from what I have seen, is that women are less explosive. They are more slow twitch muscle fiber dominant. This also means that, well, it doesn't necessarily mean this, but they also have a higher cardiovascular capacity. better ability to recover. So can probably, hit a muscle group more frequently, potentially. Less rest in between sets. You can recover faster. And as a percentage of strength, men compared to women, women's lower bodies are stronger. I'm not saying women's lower bodies are stronger than men's, right? That's quite obvious. We have 10, 15 times the testosterone level. But women's lower bodies are stronger than their upper bodies, which may be why women like to train legs. Also because, especially these days, women are rewarded for having big booties and big legs. I feel like in the 90s and earlier, it was like big boobs. What I was trying to say is maybe because it's the Kardashianification, just created that word, of today. But yes, a lot of women like to have bigger lower bodies. And if that is the truth for you as a female, then it would make sense to include higher training volume for your legs. But this would be the same if it was a man who wanted bigger legs and a bigger lower body. He would have to increase training volume for his legs. And this is something we can do. Men might want bigger arms. This is common. So men might hit a higher training volume and frequency, just put more emphasis as a percentage of their whole training on their arms if they want them to grow. Just like women would do that with glutes or quads or hamstrings. So at the end of the day, guys, I'm just saying following a training program will yield very similar results for women and men. Women and men gain muscle at about the same rate, even if men have significantly higher amounts of testosterone. Still results in about the same amount of muscle gain. I believe there was a study on this over a 6-month period, and the gains were the differences were negligible, essentially. So yes, at the end of the day, women may want to emphasize different body parts because they would like to look a specific way. But other than that, if you're just looking to gain strength, reduce body fat percentage, appear more aesthetic overall, there's no reason that women should train differently from men or men should train differently from women. That's just not the case. So last thing I'll say is, if you're a female who's looking to get into weight training only because you want your legs to grow, I would encourage you not to just hit lower body workouts. Don't just hit leg workouts. I think it is wise for you to strengthen your whole body. Now, like I said, you can emphasize your lower body. You can hit more lower sessions than upper sessions, but just so you can, avoid muscle imbalances. I think people overhype muscle imbalances as well. Your body has a good way of adjusting, but at the same time, follow a training program that is designed to systematically get you stronger throughout your whole body. Right? Don't neglect your push muscles, women, even if you don't want them to grow. Hit them once a week. Same thing with your back. And this leads to a last point. I just lied, as I usually do, about finishing the video. You're not going to get super bulky and huge. And this is a topic that's hit on a lot, but women, don't give yourself so much credit that you're going to get super jacked by starting to train. It is extremely hard to get super jacked to begin with. And these women that you may see on the internet that are insanely jacked, the amount of training, the high volume of training they've adapted to has been accumulated over years of hard focused work with a specific intention of getting to that specific level of musculature and that specific look. You're not going to get there just by falling into it, by just going to the gym. That's not nearly enough to become big and jacked. You'll have to work very hard for that. What's truly going to happen for women when you start resistance training, granted you don't just start pounding calories every which way, eating horribly, is you will actually look skinnier. Yes, I said the hot button word for women, a lot of women, not trying to generalize. You will look skinnier, you will look leaner, more aesthetic, your clothes will fit better. These are the real byproducts of resistance training. You'll feel better, better mood, better strength, all of these things. So don't worry. And not to mention these women who look this specific way, they're doing a lot of performance enhancing drugs, probably have a coach and they're receiving guidance on doing steroids, which a lot of the women that fear something like this of getting too big are not going to be taking steroids. So it's just not in the cards for you, for the everyday female, quote unquote, out here watching, thinking that weight training would make you bulky. But I also wouldn't even know why you'd be watching my video in the first place. Anyways, hope you enjoyed today's video. Hope it made sense. Go ahead, hit up my IG again for this giveaway. Comment questions you may have. May just answer it in the next video. Brian DeCosta, shreddedforlife.com. Here to get you shredded, keep you shredded, the good shredded always. Like, subscribe. Please do it for me. Do it for the algorithm. All right, bye.